Hey everybody, it's Tom Lehman again. I had such a good response and wanted to keep practicing this as I keep thinking about ways to get my book out there to the public. So thank you for all those who followed along the first time. This time I kind of want to be a little more pointed in my reason for talking here today. So I really want to talk about storytelling. I think they're at the heart of what I do. I am a storyteller, and there was some great advice that I received from my boss at the Boston Herald many years ago, from Hank Hernowitz. He was the head editor of the sports department when I was there. And Hank, if you're watching this, I'm sure you don't even remember saying this to me at any point in my career, but I remember it. And that shows how powerful it is when someone actually kind of believes in you. He told me to never stop bringing him stories. It didn't mean he was going to publish every story that I brought to him. It didn't mean that everything that I did was going to get into the paper. But the more that I went out and branched out and met people, the more that I built relationships in the communities of the beats that I was covering, the more stories that I was going to uncover and figure out ways to tell for the paper. I had no writing experience before I showed up to the Herald, so Hank and Danny V and Brian Fabry, thank you so much for everything that you did to get me in that seat, to maybe get me to the places where I am right now, sitting here. And that brings me to Level Par. When I was a sports writer, when I was, doing these side projects for Runner's World and for Outdoor Magazine, my word count was usually in that 1,500 to 2,000 range. And if you're going to write a book, you need to be writing 35,000 words. And I had no idea how I was going to make the leap to kind of write these short feature stories in the newspaper world, to taking on a large project that needed multiple characters, that needed multiple storylines, but also that was completely fiction. I mean, it really was one of those things that I'm like, I don't know how to do this. And that's when I picked up this journal. And it's really cool to kind of comb through this thing. And these are the first words of Level Par. I wrote the first draft of my book all by hand. And it really wasn't an exercise in, making sure that this was perfect. It was making sure that this was out of my brain, that I could think of this story, write it down most nights, and sometimes, as you see Reggie in the background, my dog, I would take my morning walk with him, and I would not bring a phone. I would just think about my story and where it was going, where I was going wrong with it, where I wanted to take it, where the character needed development, where the story needed development. And on those morning walks, I kind of would come back and then I would start writing. Whether it was in the morning, whether it was after my full-time job was done, I would find little blocks of time to just write and write it all by hand. And next thing I know, I had a full story in this thing within a year. If you've ever thought about writing, if you've ever thought about putting a story down, if you've ever thought about just writing something for the local newspaper, just start finding stories, and you never know where it's going to take you.